Welcome to Elite Movement Systems. Here are the 7 ways that we can help you with progressive overload. The most common way to progressively overload will be weight. So weight on the bar, you progressively overload by adding little bits of weight every week. This is on every staple of programs, juggernaut method, 5x5, 5-3-1, you always add a little bit extra in weight, a little bit extra percentage every week to get stronger. Number 2 is increase your repetitions. So if you are staying at the same weight, try and give yourself a rep range. But if you want to stick to bench press, deadlifts, things like that, I'd say 6 to 12. However, from the previous video, everyone responds differently, so try and find a rep range or a rep scheme that works best for you. So for me, I know my deadlifts, I can gain a lot of strength when I do 4s, but I would particularly say 6 to 12, isolation, like 10, 15, even 20. Another way that we can progressively overload is adding sets. So adding sets per week. This is really good with Renaissance periodization when they do hypertrophy work, or even juggernaut doing hypertrophy work. Week 1 might be 4 sets, the week 2 might be 5 sets, week 3 might be 5 or 6 sets, and then it might be 5-6 sets again. And this is gonna increase your capacity to do more sets. If you can do more sets with the same weight, you're getting stronger, your volume increases. So if you can do that and figure out what your MEV and MRV is. So I would say, start on the lower end of your MEVs and then gradually increase throughout the weeks to your MRV and see if that helps. Improving your technique and range of motion. So technique is going to be a big driver for hypertrophy. If you're not doing things right, or you're cutting things short, say if you're on a bench press, you're not going all the way down, you're not getting that nice stretch in your pec, you're missing out on some good gains. If you drop your ego a little bit, add some range of motion, come all the way down, even if you're dropping by 30%, something like that, or 10-20 kilos, if you can go all the way down, don't let your ego get in the way, go all the way down, nice clean reps. Work on your technique, even when you are doing tricep push downs or things like that. If you're here and the weight's too heavy and you lean too much forward and you shrug and you're pushing it like this, that's not really working the target muscle that you want. Drop the weight, nice and slow, get that technique and range of motion perfect. Full squeeze, full extension, full contraction, and that could be a massive indicator on a lot of people's gateway or breakthrough to get stronger, is by actually doing the movements properly. Slow down your lifts. So using slower tempos, really get used to that technique. When you're coming down on a bench press, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come up. And what that's going to do as well, it's going to give you a feedback loop of what's actually working and what you need to be doing. Again, it comes back to the technique part of it, and by slowing your lifts down, by learning the skill and learning the movements properly, you are going to get stronger. Decrease rest times. Now, I don't think this is a massive one, but it can help you. Say if you're a bodybuilder or you're doing hypertrophy work, want to get a good pump, I would say decrease your rest times. It's not massive, but it can help a lot. Increasing your training frequency. Now, every individual is going to be different. Every response is going to be different. So some people can only bench once a week. Some people can bench once every 10 days. I know what's his name? Def Grip Derek, I remember on one of his videos, he said he can only bench once every 10 days because it takes him that long to recover. Try different frequencies. Maybe you can train bench 3 times a week, 4 times a week, or you can bench twice competition bench and then 3 times like a variation. You're doing a 5-day week program. Maybe you can't do that and you can only do 1 variation. One of my clients, Zach, he can deadlift once a week and 1 variation. Anytime that I give him 2 or 3 variations, his back is just out of it, like his back's gone. So by trying to find out what works best for you, if you're not progressing on your bench or you're not progressing on your squat and deadlift, maybe up the frequency a little bit. Try and bench 3 times a week if you're benching twice. If you're squatting once a week, try squat twice a week, 3 times a week. If you're deadlifting once a week, maybe go twice a week. Maybe you can't recover at all in that week, so maybe you should have a week 1, week 2, a week A and a week B, just to give your body a bit more time to recover. Everyone's frequency is going to be different, so find what works best for you, but if you can increase your frequency, do it. A bonus for me as I do calisthenics, it kind of is in the slow down like your tempo work, but time under tension. Now if you're doing calisthenics and you're trying to learn skills, the main thing that I'm doing at the minute is trying to increase my time under tension. So with my handstands, front levers, back levers, most of the time it is time under tension, and I'm trying to hold the positions for longer. Maybe you can only do it for 3 or 4 seconds, but that is a great way to try and progressively overload. If you were on, say, if I was doing a back lever on the rings and I could do it for 2 seconds, if I do the week after and I do it for 4 or 5 seconds, I know I've got stronger. So time under tension is going to be key. You can use this for bodybuilding as well, with your tempo work and things like that, but if you're doing mainly calisthenics and skill work, time under tension is going to be a big one for you. If you're struggling to build muscle and you're struggling to build strength, try these 7 things out. I wouldn't try all of them at once, maybe pick 1 or 2. Don't go all in and try slowing down the movement and then trying to increase your weight and then trying to increase your reps. It's just not going to work. So pick a few and go from there. I hope you liked the video. If you could give me a like, subscribe and follow me on my Instagram on Elite Movement Systems, and yeah, have a nice day. Let's get strong and we can go from there.